When the galactic perimeter finally fell, everyone on Celis Prime knew it was only a matter of time. The Vardon swarm had devoured 15 worlds in less than a cycle, leaving nothing but barren husks and drifting debris fields. The Council's last fleet had been shredded 2 days ago. The orbital guns were silent now, half-melted and pockmarked with acid. Councillor Rel Corin stood at the window of the central spire, looking out at the blackening sky. He could already see the ripples of the swarm's atmosphere boilers. Soon they'd rain down, peel away the oceans, strip the rock for nutrients. He thought of his daughter, safe in the hidden bunkers far below. But how long would that safety last? A week? A day? Behind him, the emergency assembly chamber was filled with bickering voices. Dozens of species, each one proud, each one terrified, argued over evacuation corridors that no longer existed. They still clung to delusions of diplomacy with a species that could not speak, only consume. He shut them out. Instead, Rel's eyes found the ancient comms relay. Once it had connected this world to the entire galactic compact. Now it was just a relic. Yet his mind turned to an option so desperate that no one dared speak it aloud. The Terran Directive. Centuries ago, when the compact first found the humans on their Blue Death world, there had been hope they could be integrated. But the reports that filtered back were chilling. The humans were too unpredictable, too adaptable. Too willing to destroy themselves if it meant victory. After the wars of subjugation, the compact had quietly agreed the Terrans would be left alone, isolated behind quarantine barriers. The official records called them extinct. The truth was, they were simply uninvited. No one made contact with the humans. Ever. Rel drew in a breath. The stories said they were monsters when provoked. Maybe monsters were what they needed now. He turned back to the council. Enough, he said, and his voice, though soft, carried weight. We have one option left. Murmurs fell into silence. Eyes turned to him, some in disbelief, others in horror. You can't be serious, Ambassador Vekist. You would summon them? Rel ignored the outrage. He strode to the console, bypassed outdated security clearances, and entered the ancient Terran frequency. No encryption. No protocol. Just a raw, desperate plea broadcast on an open band. To the humans of Earth. Celis Prime calls for aid. We face extinction. If you hear this, help us. No one spoke as the message looped. Rel held his breath. He had no idea if the humans even still had receivers. Maybe they'd wiped themselves out centuries ago. Seconds ticked by. Then minutes. Then, through the static, a single reply broke through. Acknowledged. Just one word. No name. No rank. Just a promise. Hours passed before the swarm's clouds split open. But it wasn't the swarm descending, no, it was something else. From the heavens, black shapes dropped like thunderbolts. Atmospheric entry burns lit up the night. The first impact crater bloomed outside the city walls. Rel, along with a dozen other delegates, rushed to the observation platform. A single human emerged from the dust. Armor that looked patchworked, weapons bristling with blades and cannons. Where the Vardon drones pounced, the human moved faster, snapping necks, blasting exoskeletons apart with handheld rail guns, ripping limbs free with raw strength that seemed impossible for their size. Then more pods landed. Dozens, then hundreds. Not a coordinated army, an unchained pack. Some wore old Terran military insignia, others gang colors and painted skulls. They fought like berserkers, never retreating, never yielding. The Vardon swarm, used to docile prey that begged for mercy, found itself up against predators who laughed at pain. For the first time in Rel's life, he saw the swarm hesitate. The battle for Celis Prime raged through the night. The air grew thick with burning chitin and the roar of human war cries. In the end, the Vardon did what they'd never done before, they fled. The swarm retreated into space, leaving only twitching husks behind. Rel met one of the Terran commanders the next morning amid the ruins. She was young, her face streaked with blood and ash, eyes bright with adrenaline. Why? Rel asked, voice cracking. Why help us? She grinned, teeth white and wolf-like. We heard there was a fight worth having. And besides, she nodded to the swarm corpses. No one threatens our old neighbors except us. As dawn rose over the battered city, Rel realized the galaxy's monsters weren't monsters at all, they were the guardians you prayed you'd never need. And when hope was gone, you called the most dangerous species you could find.